Yeah, we should keep. Actually, I changed my mind. We should keep that in.
Too late. I already fucking deleted it. So, welcome to another episode of Spectacular. We are a podcast that talks about movies and shit, mostly shit. And I am one of your hosts, Brandon. And today we are discussing the 2021 movie Pig. But of course, I am joined by my best friend and co-host, Mike.
That is my name.
It is. That was a pretty solid introduction right there. No no ums, straight fucking through. Yeah, and I say
I'm looking at your crotch and it looks like you peed yourself, but
well, that's not
they
pee.
Don't know that.
That's a lot of ejaculate. I can literally produce like 3 ounces at one time. So
I don't know if that's a lot or not.
Well, 3 ounces. That's not.
I'm gonna say doing it on my
8
sofa.
8 ounces is a cup. 8 ounces.
I'm gonna say any amount while sitting on my sofa is too much.
Well, some might even say it's not enough.
Yeah,
and that wouldn't be you because it's your couch.
Right.
But so the movie Pig. Tell me about this movie, Mike.
Pig from 2021, like you said, starring Nicolas Cage.
Yep.
A truffle hunter who lives alone in the Oregon,
Oregon, like as in the instrument,
Okay.
like the piano.
Oh, I was thinking organ like a human, like a heart or something like that.
So I went the way that you would normally go because you're a music person, and then
I went disgustingly like a psychopath like you.
Sure, yeah, narcissist. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Well, anyway, now we're in Oregon,
the Oregon Trail,
or Oregon wilderness. Must return to his past in Portland in search of his beloved foraging pig after she is kidnapped.
And who else is in this movie?
So we have a little Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm.
He plays my man Rob.
Okay.
Alex Wolff plays Amir.
Love him.
Alex Wolff from Hereditary.
Mm-hmm. And other great things like Jumanji and Jumanji 2, Enter the Jungle. Or
is he?
The fuck
I never saw them.
He was briefly in it.
He's the younger guy, or the nerdy version, and then...
Yeah, then he becomes the Rock in the first one, and the second one, I think he's not the Rock. I never saw the second one.
And then Adam Arkin, he plays Darius. He's the
dad. Yeah.
He's been in fucking everything.
Yeah. So this, this is probably the first movie I've ever seen him in.
Really?
I don't know.
Hitch. He was in Hitch.
I've never seen Hitch.
He's in Chicago Hope, I think.
I don't watch television.
I think that's what that was called.
The only TV show that I ever watched was NYPD Blue. And that's when I saw Zach Morris's ass, and I was like, yes. Yeah, Chickless, love The Shield. But then now we're talking about cop shows.
They showed ass on ABC?
Yeah. They would say bullshit in it, too. But this was like mid-90s to early 2000s.
Oh, is that like before Janet Jackson had the boob? And everyone freaked out?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But see, they weren't showing nip in that. It was just the occasional butt crack, occasional side boobs and stuff like that. But whenever the show started, it always say like, oh, made for mature audiences. But speaking of cop dramas, and then there's also, of course, our favorite from HBO, The Wire, which that came out after.
Anything they want. Although not a lot of nudity in that movie.
Yeah, disappointingly, yeah. I think Peacemaker on HBO shows a lot more titty and butt than... you don't like Cena, so that's fine. I fucking love Cena.
Can we go one episode without you mentioning his dumbass?
Yeah, we can go one episode without me saying Cena, or Ryan Gosling, or... Who else do I like? That's a dude, heterosexually.
Arnold.
Oh, fucking... Well, Arnold shouldn't even have to be said, because that's a...
Blessings of peace be upon his name. Thank you.
Yes. So, in this movie... I was truly hoping, because I've seen the trailer, and I
didn't watch the trailer.
Okay. I was hoping for the normal, as a lot of people would expect, the Nick Cage freakouts, like angry yelling or, bees of some sort, and there was none of it. But I was not disappointed about that either, because I actually genuinely like this movie, even though, if you watch it, hopefully you guys watch this as you listen to us, the story was almost... so simple. It's just like, hey, you took my pig. Yeah. Get it back, and that's it. Yeah. There's no anything else about it.
I think it's more mood and emotion.
Sure.
Is like the gist or the thing that drives the movie more than the plot itself.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say that about like fucking another movie we mention all the time, John Wick, which it's a pretty simple motivation.
Killed my fucking dog, and I'm gonna go kill you, and you take my car. And I'm gonna murder you.
That's more about style and the guns and the action and everything like that.
Yeah. And I still like John Wick though.
Like the story's just like a platform to jump off into what they're actually...
It's very simple.
Yeah.
Very simple. It's you took my car and killed my dog, so I'm gonna kill you and get my car back. And then the second one is but the guy gives him he has to do
Part
the contract.
2, see part 1.
Yeah, yeah. He has the contract, and the third one is him trying to get. Yeah, it's always.
Well, I
very
think by
simple.
then they start more with the world itself, like expanding.
Yeah,
like,
because
oh,
I mean,
this
you have
is an
Lawrence
interesting-
Fishburne
yeah.
as another character, and then you had what's her name? Angelica Houston, I think was she was like
Yes.
the theater person. Yeah. So back to Pig really quick. I'm sorry. I was initially hoping for a Nick Cage freak out. Wasn't there. Again, not disappointed about it at all, because I think any other movie you could think of him being in, there's some sort of that where he's rages and attacks something, but it just his grisly look, because I didn't obviously watching the movie, I didn't know a lot going into it. I didn't know that he was like a chef, but then I was thinking maybe he has a background in kung fu or something that you don't know
That's
about.
where his skills with the knives came
Yeah, it's like Steven Seagal in Under Siege, right? Like
Oh,
he's
yes.
the chef, and then suddenly he's this fucking like he's doing what is Steven Seagal's?
I think ninjutsu.
What the fuck? That even sounds. I'm sure it's.
I mean,
real.
that's what ninjas do.
But he's no ninja.
Man, does he do ninjutsu? Ah, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Have you seen that motherfucker run?
Yeah, with the hands.
Yeah, he's so wobble, like it's this wacky inflatable arm man. But Steven Seagal, it's so bad. Oh, and all those ponytails. So you also mentioned Alex Wolff in this movie.
Yes.
I love that guy.
Mm-hmm. He's good.
And yeah, he's great. And even in this, like he kind of when you first meet him, just kind of like this douchey a-hole, and you kind of still get that throughout the point of for most of the movie. But then when he opens up to Nick Cage about his mom and stuff
Well, that's
like
the
that.
point. Like, that's not who he is. That's
Yeah.
who he's trying to portray.
Yeah,
Like, he's in the
hyping himself
mirror,
up and
hyping him up.
Yeah.
It's funny, and I've only watched one episode, but I hear it's super good. And everyone keeps yelling at me.
Peacemaker.
No, fucking. That's it. Recording's over. Bring on the.
Which one?
Anyway, Succession.
Oh, it's great.
The son, the main son.
Yeah, the oldest.
Not Kieran.
Well, he's not the oldest, but he's the
Whatever, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But like I said, I've only seen that first episode. In that first episode, you see that same thing. Like, you're not actually built for this world of like high stakes, whatever. In that movie, it's finance, whatever, or news, TV, whatever it is.
yeah, like television. Yeah.
Okay. And then this one, it's high stakes world of chefing or whatever.
Truffle selling. Yeah.
Foraging.
Which
No, but I mean, overall, it's, when Alex's dad comes into the movie, it's like, yeah, he's not built for this world. So,
Yeah.
It's the cutthroat
Near the end,
restaurant, which it is. I mean, people always say it's like 90% of restaurants close or whatever that statistic is, but
and that dad like came off as if he was like some mob boss. Or like he's like, I fucking like, I'm hot shit. You come back here again, I'll fucking do. I'll kill the pig and do this. Obviously, at that time when he's even telling Nick Cage that shit, Pig's already fucking dead. But he's just telling him that stuff just to get
once
rid of
again,
him.
people putting on like a mask, pretending to be something that's either they're not or something that's not true. They're just putting on the face.
Like you are with with heterosexuality. So I get it, buddy. Back to Alex Wolff though. So I wouldn't say he's an up and comer because he's been around for a while, but like everything that he's in, again, I don't think there's been a time where I haven't enjoyed his acting. I don't know if it's just he's making good choices with his movies, or he just brings his A game whenever. But he kind of reminds me of like a Paul Giamatti, or like I had a list of actors I want to say, like, even though they might be in like a shit role per se, but like they bring it all. And
They give it their all.
Yeah. So Giamatti, like even like we talked about it in Shoot 'Em Up, even shitty fucking movie, but yeah, he goes in the one we watched recently, Gunpowder Milkshake.
Yeah.
Like still brings in that
100%
too.
effort.
Yeah. He's just always just all right. Hey, it might not be the best, but fucking does it. Now I'm not saying the movies that Alex Wolff has done.
Not phoning it in.
Right.
Right.
Like Pacino does. The older guys. Like Pacino, I don't know. His
Okay.
voice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, before you watched the movie, what were you expecting?
So, I mean, really, I only suggested it because a lot of people seem to like it.
Mm-hmm.
But like you, either I had like I was thinking it was something that it wasn't, or I just went in kind of like at a blank slate, like I didn't have any ideas about it. Well, I did have some ideas about it, where I thought it was just into like how big of a, not huge thing, but like how big of like a big thing like Mandy was.
Okay.
Probably like the year before this, I
Yeah, I think
don't
Mandy.
remember.
Yeah, Mandy was I think
Couple years,
2018,
but-
something like that. Yeah.
It's like everyone's like, oh, Nick Cage is back and he's going crazy. And then for some reason, like a lot of the stuff had like a lot of John Wick comparisons, or like feeling to it. So
Okay.
that's like you. That's what I thought it was going to be, like action adventure, like revenge kind of movie.
Yeah.
And even the movie itself kind of plays on that a little bit with like the pictures and the advertising, like the bloody
Yeah.
and kind of disheveled.
Yeah, he did not shower.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's if he was if he really portrayed the way he looked, like I would not want that motherfucker in my car. I would not that motherfucker sleeping on my
smelled
couch.
great, I
He had to
guarantee.
like the stains on his long johns. Like I was like, nope, like because they were yellow. Like and Alex Wolff made that joke, like you want me to get you a shower or something like that. But continue with your Nick Cage.
But
theory.
like, so the movie, even itself, like there's a scene with like an underground fight club,
yeah.
kind of out of the blue, but whatever.
Which, really quick, I'm sorry, since you bring it up. So those were restaurant employees just hitting random people, or is it just the bosses? Because, like, obviously when he wrote his name on the board, people knew who he was.
Right.
Because he had his restaurant and stuff like that. So the previous guy that you saw getting hit, was he also like a chef?
So I think maybe it's like commentary on maybe like the chef culture itself, or restaurant
How toxic
culture.
it is?
Yeah, like chefs are assholes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just big guys with egos and alcoholics and shit like that.
Yeah.
And this is like a way for the waiters and the staff and stuff to get back at them.
Right.
Like spend their money to get back at, you know.
Which it wasn't real
the
money.
bigger the name
Yeah.
you can get to come in there, you know, the more people will pay, I guess, pay to beat the shit out of them for 10 seconds or whatever it was.
So they weren't using real money. Do you think they were doing that so that way there's like no trace? Because like they're putting down with like cardboard cut, like little, like it wasn't actual money that they're putting
That
down.
much attention.
But okay, so
So the movie itself kind of plays on that, at least what I thought it was going to be, all the way up to that point, really. Because I thought, I'm like, this guy used to be a chef, and now he's going to be in this fight club, and he's going to throw down. But really, he
Yeah.
just gets his ass kicked. So it's like subverting everything I thought it was going to be.
yeah, because when the other guy, Isaac or Victor, whatever the guy who runs the thing, when he's like, "You're nobody knows who you are anymore." I thought that's kind of what you're saying. Like he's going to go into this, he's going to fight somebody.
So that's like the John Wick thing. I'm thinking like, oh man, this guy's a legend. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Technically,
did
he
you hear
is.
he's back? Did you hear he's back?
yeah,
Like that.
technically
like
he
the
is a legend.
whispers, you know?
Yeah, like with his cooking. I was truly hoping for some Nick Cage anger. I'm glad I didn't get it because
Yeah,
it would have
it's not-
thrown off
yeah.
the whole tone. And I enjoyed all the actors in it. Like
I almost couldn't tell if the movie itself was like making fun of like that whole culture. Like
mean,
there's
could.
like, especially like the waitress coming into the super fancy restaurant that they go have lunch at.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is locally sourced, all this stuff, and like they do the whole. It's all. What's it called? Chef's Table on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah.
It's literally just everyone wants to be on an episode
with the
of
smoke,
that. With the
and,
smoke. Yeah.
We're
yeah.
a single Michelin star restaurant,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
this, it takes us 16 hours. I mean, now Chef's Table is great to watch, visually appealing. If you have a 4K TV and stuff like that, it looks real sharp and pretty, and a lot of that food does look delicious. I don't know if I'd ever go to one of those
That's
kind of
the thing,
restaurants.
like super, like looks super delicious. Like how
But are you
delicious?
gonna be full?
Yeah.
'Cause those are
I
like-
fucking know for sure I'm not
Those
gonna
are
be.
like
But
2 bites, and then you're done with whatever they put on the plate. And then some of the stuff they put on the plate, you might even be lucky if it's an actual single mouthful of food. Right. But I've never been to a fine dining restaurant. The closest I've ever been to something like that is like a
Morton's or something.
Yeah, Morton's.
But that's just a steakhouse. You know?
It is.
It's not
it
really
is.
like a.
But it's still like you sit. I mean, well,
Not just a steakhouse. You know what I'm saying? But just a fan.
like
a
yeah,
expensive
I've gone
steakhouse.
to like fancy restaurants. So, you gotta dress up kind of thing. Because like Ruth Chris, you could see someone in there in shorts. Like that's fucking tacky. But they'll still let them in there and do it. But what's that place in Fullerton? It's like the Cellar, and that's actually quite nice. But you can still dress casual in that place too. But I really like because you go underground and you're like, it's really nice in there. It's really dark though, like so you walk in the shit, but really good food. But I would agree though, like if Nick Cage was starting to fight and do all that shit, it kind of would have thrown me off a little,
Yeah.
and that was quite random of a thing to kind of go into. But he had to get the information somehow. It was still kind of silly too. He moves that shelf right, and there's that hole there. So did other people that go in that restaurant,
It's the
are
exact
they
thing.
not?
Like it's like 100 people just stream into that restaurant just to
Yeah.
get to that. Maybe there's multiple ways in there. You know.
I would think so, because he did say like this and this, but at the same time, if you work in that restaurant they're at, you would probably know that hole's there, right? Because like if you're putting shit back on that shelf, like why is there just a lot of a breeze coming through from behind this shelf? Or maybe they're all in on it. That could be a thing. But then Amir didn't know about it,
Right.
So, and he's going in his world to do all that shit.
But remember that's not really his world. He's just trying to.
He's trying to
take
get
part,
in it. Yeah, he's trying to, and he's apparently to the dad, he's not succeeding. He has some success, but not. And also, really quick too, did Amir not know who Nick Cage was? Because it seemed like he didn't. Because even when
I think he did. I think he had to.
well, but then the one guy asked him like, do you know who he is? Like when he went to the food trucks things and stuff like that, he asked for $10. The guy asked him, do you know who he is? And then I thought when he went back to the car, he's like, who the fuck are you?
No, he's asking about the guy Marty. Is that guy's name was?
I don't know. I thought it was Victor or
He's
Isaac.
like, how do you know Marty or whatever? He was asking Nick how he knows that guy.
Okay. Because I even know later when he's like, you want me to
well,
use
once
your
again,
name?
that kind of makes your point because like if he knows who Nick Cage is,
Yeah.
he would definitely know that he was in that scene and he would know big guys. And
Sure. And so to go to Nick Cage's story really quick, so he was a very successful restaurant chef.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently his wife passed away, so he left it all behind.
Right.
Because he lost his passion, he lost his thing, and so he had his truffle pig.
I don't know. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Had this truffle pig and just wanted to live off the grid and just get a little extra cheddar by selling those truffles. That's my interpretation, but like they didn't really go into a lot of that. Like with that woman that has a bakery, was that his daughter?
I think that's someone who just worked at it. I think that used to be his restaurant, literally where the bakery is.
Okay.
So she's like, "Oh, you changed it up." Or
Yeah,
he said-
the curtains.
Yeah.
And she said Lorelai like one.
So she's like, I had it for a restaurant for a while, but I'm a baker. She was the baker at his restaurant.
Okay.
So she took it over and it's just made it a bakery.
Okay. All right.
That makes sense.
I'll allow it. I do like the name Lorelai,
That's a cool name.
but then it makes me think of Gilmore Girls.
Girls, yeah.
And so I don't like the
So it
name
just
Lorelai.
warms your heart then? What's the problem?
I will admit, like when I was younger and I would occasionally watch Gilmore Girls with some friends, I was like, like, I'm a boy, masculinity. But
Football.
yeah,
Fights.
basketball, dicks. No, not dicks, but like anyway. So I didn't like really pay attention, but as an adult, I watched it and I was like, this is actually quite good. Like just the banter that they'll have,
Fast.
and then led to Miss Maisel. And it makes sense that it's literally the exact same thing, but just more profanity and titty and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But so I really like Miss Maisel. If you haven't seen, have you seen Miss Maisel?
I have not.
Good. So
She's a stand-up?
yeah.
Okay.
In the 60s, I believe. Yeah.
Is there music too?
Not
I'm
really.
Mixing that with something else.
Well, there's a little bit. Like they have a fictional in the last season. They had a fictional guy that was like a
nah, if it's just the musical episode, that doesn't count.
okay. Well, it doesn't. Well, it wasn't.
I think there's another one with music, but it's not that show. It's just another one that came out in that time. It's not worry about it.
Have you
Forget it, Brandon.
All right. Have you ever worn long johns?
Like those old style kind of
Like foot to neck.
with footsies?
No footsies. Like just so obviously the foot's exposed, your hands are exposed, but it goes up to your neck, like the base of your neck.
Like a one piece? With the caboose opening?
Okay, you're getting too technical, but sure.
I don't think so. I
don't
have worn the two pieces though.
Yeah. Like thermal, like
Yeah.
I've never worn a single.
Yeah.
But I did like that.
Yeah.
I've always liked the way it looks.
Also wasn't born in 1891 either. So
I also didn't have to travel in a wagon from the east to the west. But, it is what it is. But as I said earlier, all those fucking stains on his clothes, like, you got to understand. Like, you stink. Like, there's no, and I'm sure he get used to it so he doesn't notice it. But, like, that was just
He's rank.
gross. Yeah. I mean, and his hair obviously looks like he hasn't showered. So, again, if I was an
I do like the guy in the restaurant. I kept like, do you need medical attention?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is all bloody.
That was the other chef, right?
Yeah.
Which that guy, I wrote a note specifically for him saying, where is it? Oh my gosh, where is it? Derek, that was his name, Derek. The character, his name is Derek. The acting is so good. The sniveling, the facial expressions were all amazing. Cause like watching him like smile, like being fake, and then Nick Cage kind of not putting him in his place, but just like, remember you want to do this and do this, like and
he's like being like compassionate but brutally honest,
right? But like his smile as it slowly like fades
away
and then he drinks the wine
to
even
like despair.
Yeah, and I was like, I like this guy a lot.
That's good. Yeah.
Like it just the way you like because there's many actors that can do it. Like shit, he was in Antichrist. He was Willem Dafoe. So his facial expressions, like bar none. Like he's like whenever he's freaking out, if he's angry, if he's happy, like just the way his face moves, you always can tell. And that guy, I feel like he was able to bring that in that scene. I liked it a lot. Everything about this movie I like. That's an ice cream man driving by.
Oh, yeah.
That makes
Man,
me want
he
a
came by
two-ball
earlier,
screwball.
and I was like, man, I wish I had cash. And then I remembered, hey, I got a 20 not too long ago, but then it already went by, and now we just missed it again. So no ice cream for
So
me.
no two-ball screwball for me. No fudge skull for you.
No.
Actually,
no ice cream sandwich
is ice cream sandwich your favorite?
and the strawberry shortcake.
That one I used to love, but I feel like it's just too sweet now.
Okay.
Did you ever have the screwballs? There was like a cone, and there's a little gumball on the bottom, but then it was like a red like cherry thing you could just squeeze upward. Not like a push pop.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Fucking love those. The blue ones, fuck that.
Snow cone will do.
I only like snow cones when they're like fresh. Like you go to a place and they put the ice on, like the freshly shaved ice, so that I can put tiger's blood all over it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tiger's blood's probably the best because that's like cherry and watermelon.
Oh, God.
I know. I can always eat. I've realized too. Like even when I'm literally full, like I'm done, and then we'll go
There's
to
always space for a little.
yeah.
We'll go to
We'll go to 7-Eleven to get a boba or something like that, and I'm like, all right, I can eat a macaroon. Like I'll eat this. All right, give me the fucking boba. Like whatever. So was this pig? This is a question of mine that you don't see a lot of the pig, but was that pig real the whole time, or was that CGI?
I think it's real.
The whole time?
I mean, I don't know, every shot, maybe. I mean, it's a low budget movie, so what do they have? Money to make a crazy CGI pig?
Well, that's valid. And they did shoot. It seemed like they did actually shoot it in Oregon.
I think they did, yeah.
Yeah. So
like 20 days, I believe.
That's it. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, it moves an hour 35, like if that, like hour 40. But it seemed like there's a couple times where that was not a real pig, which is okay. It didn't, because I think it was the wide shots. Not establishing, but just the wide shots when the pig was going across the screen. But all the close-ups where he was there, I think it was real. But then I started thinking,
I know it's like a weird breed of pig, looks like, but
yeah,
I don't know.
like definitely looks like a potbelly, but I had a potbelly pig.
Okay.
Well, why are you looking at me weird? Like as if I don't know my breeds of pigs, but I know there's the LAPD and then there's the shots fired. Anyway, so. Would you say that Nick Cage is a recluse in this movie?
What do you mean? Is of course.
He? Why is he a recluse though?
What, do you not understand what the word means?
I know what a recluse is.
He's removed himself from society.
Couldn't that also be a
hermit?
Well, a hermit.
It's all the same thing.
Sure. But there's another word I thought of, and I was trying to even type it. There's errors that for my note that because I wrote recluse, and then I was like, or it could be. And then the letters just don't even look like they go together. It's just a whole bunch of consonants.
Did you mean go back to school? I was trying to get you to learn something.
Yeah. Go read a book.
Just sent you links to adult schools.
Continuation
buddy.
school.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. Here, let's start again at this junior college. So what is it about this movie? Is there something that stands out the most to you that you liked?
Not a single thing. No, I think I always say that. I think it's his performance. Well, so... once again, kind of changing my mind like halfway through a couple times.
Sure.
Because like all the reviews were like, oh, great performance by Nick Cage. I'm like, okay. So I started watching the movie. Maybe because the first time I watched it was a little late. So I was a little sleepy. I was like, this movie's kind of slow and I don't know it's not what I expected. Like I said, I was waiting for action-y stuff.
Yeah.
I think I fell asleep halfway through it. I woke up kind of near the end. I was like, well, fucking ruined the end for myself.
Because you're an idiot.
Because I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
So, but then when I watched it again, and just like
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I forgot that you watched the movies once, just watch, and then you watched it again for your notes. Is that right?
I mean, that's how I like to do it. You know, if we're up against it, I won't.
Right.
But
like as in a deadline. If
if you said like, oh, let's record Saturday.
Okay,
I'm like, oh, it's already Friday night. I only can watch it the one time. But yeah, this particular time I did it just because I fell asleep. So I'm like, well, fuck, I got to watch the middle 45 minutes again or whatever. So, but just the second time I went to go see it, then I saw the scene in the restaurant. Then I saw the scene at the dinner that he makes at the end. Like, just like, it's powerful without, with subtlety. You know what I'm saying?
Do you
like with few words, just like a powerful presence on screen?
Can you imagine food, like bringing up memories and stuff like that? Like to bring you back to a place where you not only were happy with your wife, because she was assumably she is still alive, even though Alex said she's dead. Because
she's lying.
Yeah, he said she committed suicide. But do you think he's just embarrassed, or maybe not
Probably,
embarrassed? But like, so she did try to kill herself.
Yeah, I'd assume. Yes.
But just failed suicide. She's alive, and so the dad ate the food. Probably remembered that night, got him all sad. So that's the power of food, I guess, obviously. But I mean, do you think there's anything that I'll let you continue what you're saying prior? But do you think there's anything else that like music kind of makes me think of shit, but like to have food do that? That's pretty fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this is a movie,
Right.
but do you think there's a food that you can eat that like makes you think back?
So it's funny you should mention that.
Why is that funny?
No, because I'm looking at your face. I'm just like, he walked out of the house like that. What the fuck?
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
No, because I was gonna ask you, like, oh, do you have like a? Can you name? My answer for me is no, but can you name like your favorite meal of all time? Like, it doesn't. Food in and of itself doesn't. I don't think of it that way, but there is stuff that I love, but I can't think of like a specific meal, a time, and a date that does that for me, like it does obviously for a Darius in it.
There's a few meals in my life that kind of always stand out, but I think it's just not due to taste, but just due to
A good time.
Yeah, so my friend Anthony and his mom love that woman, and her name's Caroline, but she would always take care of me. Like, yeah, like growing up in high school and stuff like that. Like, she would never let me leave their house without eating and stuff like that. She's not even my mom, but she would look after me in that way, and so like that's something to me that would always stand out for her. But then I've had other friends that, like, you know, even your family, like to look after me and like, hey, come by, eat some food. Like, just always very welcoming. So
True,
it's not,
I like stuff at like my house eating or going to my parents eating stuff with my parents, but not like a specific day meal.
right.
But yeah, continue.
So I couldn't remember something like that. Like, oh, it was March 6th, 1998.
Yeah.
Anything like that. But like, I can almost remember many meals that Caroline had fed me because it's just the kindness of her. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to go home. She's like, you're not fucking leaving until you eat one of these burgers or you eat some of this steak that I made, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm not letting you go home and eat a TV dinner by yourself. You're going to eat with us. And she would just take care of me. So yeah, nothing that was like so fucking good.
But now I think the point of like that memory is it's been so many years since you've had that meal or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, like, imagine somebody makes something that tastes similar or tastes exactly like something that she had made.
Yeah.
So it might trigger that emotion
yeah,
in you.
yeah,
or that
absolutely.
memory, I should say.
Absolutely. Or someone's similar voice or similar looking and everything. And
Call you a little shit.
Yeah.
Listen here, you little shit. You're not getting out of this.
Listen here, fuckface. You big forehead motherfucker. So
I'm sorry, but to answer your question, do I think it can? Yes. Food specifically for me, no. At least that I can think of, unless something were to happen and I can taste it.
Yeah.
The way it happens with me is smells.
Okay.
So, like, man, have I ever told this? So there was a kid's book that I used to have with dinosaurs in it, and it used to scare me because there is a picture of a T-Rex like snarling with like lightning behind it. I'm like, ooh, that's scary, but like good scary, but it reminded me of that. So when Jurassic Park came out, I was afraid to watch Jurassic Park because the trailer had T-Rex screaming on with lightning and shit. I'm like, oh my God, the book's come alive and it's coming to eat me, right? Mm-hmm. Eventually watched the movie and loved it, but anyway, that's a different story. But that book, I can remember the smell of the paper.
Sure.
So like years later, there's a band called Poison the Well, like a hardcore band from back in the day. They had an album called Tear from the Red. And literally when I opened the CD case for it and pulled out the book, the paper was the same paper or whatever it was, and it smelled like that kid's book. So it literally brought me back, you know.
So you cried and pissed yourself.
Cried like a little girl. I mean, so I was 16 listening to that. So when did
20 years ago? Jurassic Park came in 94, 96?
93, I think.
Okay.
So I was 8. So 8 years later, that memory just literally just popped into my head. So I'm saying
you
like
were 8.
What?
You had to be 9
in 1993.
Yeah, because I was born in 86.
Okay.
So then I would have been 93. Look at me trying to do math.
I mean, guys, believe me, I don't try to do this. He does it to himself.
I do myself a disservice every time because I think I'm
in
right.
1990, I was 5, and I added 3 years.
Okay, and you got 9.
And I got,
and you got. So,
but so that's what I'm saying. Like, and then there was that documentary. I think it was called Alive Inside. I'm not exactly sure.
Is that the one where the airplane crashes in the Alps and you have to eat each other?
That's it. That's the
one.
one.
I think that was just Alive.
So when that Argentinian dude or the Chilean dude like grabs the guy's arm, he's like, you know what this reminds me of?
Yeah.
You know, it was that other asshole I ate in the fucking Himalayas.
Remember when I ate Jimothy? I don't know what the name Jimothy. I don't think I ever finished reading that book. I think it was called Alive.
It's all alive. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, I know you're not, but I just think.
Yeah. So Alive Inside, I think that's what it's called. But there's these elderly people with like dementia.
I already don't like it.
Yeah, it's a bummer. So they're like in like catatonic states almost. They're so far gone. But people play them music from their youth, and it fucking wakes them up, and they start dancing,
start jiving,
or they start singing,
jiving,
and it's just and they're like, and of course they do like the studies, like those like connections in your brain, like not like the actual visual memories of it, but like the deep down like musical memories or the senses, like the smell and the taste, like that shit lasts a long time. So. Long story short, to answer your question, yes, I do think it can.
Thank you. So that was 8 minutes to go by, but I mean that's good filler. I haven't. I would say I'm as of right now still being relatively young. There's nothing that I don't think food wise that can make me think back to something. Sure, smell, but that happens all the time. Like whether it's a book, whether it's something.
But even not for like a specific thing, like. If you're like, hey man, let's get some fish tacos. I'm like, man, I haven't had fish tacos in years. You're pumped to eat them because I had just not specifically that thing, like that person who made it, but that particular type of food. You know what I'm saying?
There is a sandwich that I always want to get because when I was younger, my grandma took me and my brother to. We had grinders, and after eating one of those, I had never seen anywhere have a grinder, but turns out it's just basically a Subway sandwich, essentially. And there was a place that I went to that had grinders, and I didn't get it because I know it wasn't the same place that we had it before, but I wanted to, but I was just reluctant because I haven't had it in so long, and they had a Philly cheesesteak, and I was like, well, I mean, why would I not get a Philly? But I think the grinders, you can get them as...
Brandon loves a Philly, guys, by the way. Yeah. No fucking mushrooms. Don't you dare put a mushroom in that thing.
Yeah, even if you touch mushrooms and then you finish the rest of it and I saw you, I probably won't eat it. Like, I am such a bitch.
Even if you're wearing a Mario Brothers shirt that had the mushroom guy on it.
If you played Mario Brothers that day...
If you play Mario Kart, you use the little mushroom guy's name?
If you even look at somebody's car that has toadstool on there or some kind of mushroom, like get the fuck out of my face. I can't. Now, to be fair, I'm not that much of a bitch when it comes to mushrooms. Like if it's on pizza, I'll take them off and stuff. But the thing about Philly cheesesteaks is you can't really pluck those out because it's all mixed in there. Like you can't. So if that was in there, I would absolutely send that shit back. Like I know when you and I used to go to Denny's. Like Mike and I used to go to Denny's pretty much every day after working at Blockbuster. So we'd be there really fucking late. And I would get the Philly cheesesteak often. You would get like the Grand Slam or some breakfast item or something. But there was a time where they had the mushrooms in, and I tried to just tough myself through it.
Yeah.
And I could, like, it's just the texture of them. I cannot do it. And I felt like, and I hate sending food back no matter what, even if it's something small. But like, I can't with those olives. I can tolerate enough to get through it, even though those are very like salty and shitty. But mushrooms. I can't. And then I'm always afraid that when they send the food back, they're like going to put their dick in it or whatever, like they did in Road Trip when Horatio put like the powdered sugar the toast and then DJ Qualls eats it. So,
but going back to that, like whenever you eat a Philly, do you think of when we used to hang out at Denny's?
I mean, every now and then.
You could say no. I'm not. I'm not important to you. That's fine.
No, every now and then, yes. But see, that's the thing. I don't go to Denny's anymore. So that would probably...
I don't mean specifically.
I know, I get it. But that would probably be more of a trigger to me being at Denny's and getting that, opposed to being anywhere else and getting that. But the thing is, Denny's doesn't even have that anymore. Now they have it's like a prime rib sandwich thingy, so it's chunks.
End of an era.
Yeah. But they haven't had it for a long time. So Denny's, if you're listening, Denny's as a whole, as an organization, if you're all listening to this, bring back the Philly cheesesteak. That'd be great. Because obviously I go there once every 5 years maybe, and so it's not worth it for them. But did you know? No, I don't want to talk about Denny's because, like, I can't. So, he is a recluse. I would say so. The part where he reverses his truck, right? He gets his truck going. He puts the gas in there. Obviously, it breaks down, but he reverses just a little bit. And then he goes forward, but, like, he didn't turn his wheel. When he went backwards, he just went. So my thought was, well, if you went back straight and then you went forward and turned, couldn't you have just turned from the beginning and gone? And that kind of brought me out of the whole movie. I couldn't even watch any more of it.
That was your big thing about the movie?
My minute little...
The minutia strikes... I mean, It's the fucking Brandon greatest hits we're going through right now.
I can really,
Jesus.
I fucking, and then when Alex Wolff when I said Wolff, when
Alex Wolff in Oregon.
Alex Wolff. And then you got Derek Bark, and then you got Jason
Aroo.
So Alex Wolff, when he's picking him up at the little diner,
I believe it's Wolff.
I don't give a shit.
Just kidding.
He's honking his horn though. He's like, "Hurry up!" Like he's, and I'm like, I fucking love. I don't know the doucheness of it. I fucking loved it, and he plays it well. Like his, with his hair slicked back. He looks it. He's dressing with the. What was that? Was it a GG or what's that belt? If you know that logo, I feel like you've seen that logo. Was it Dolce Gabbana? Was it DG?
Yeah.
Okay. Like to have that look, but I also didn't.
It's a whole performance.
It's a facade. It's all for shit.
100%.
But he wore that gray jacket for the final little bit of the movie, the part 3, and it didn't have a collar, and that weirded me out. Like it just like went around, But I like collar jackets, and there's something. I have bombers that they don't have collars, but like that jacket looks like it should have, and you can see even the stitching that has like a mark of it, and that just kind of weirded me out. Again, little things, but yet still fine. But I thought, is that jacket appealing? Like I was hoping. I like to talk about the wardrobes and stuff like that, but I don't know if you look at them in that sense. But I did not like that jacket at all. Everything else he wore was perfect for his character, but that one jacket. I couldn't. I think it's because I can't pull off long jackets because I don't get things like tailored, which I should. So I can bring up like, sleeves and like stuff like that. So the jacket actually looks nice on me opposed to just buying a medium. Like, I'll deal with it. And it's a little long on my wrist and shit like that. But like,
nothing's stopping you. You can go to
absolutely.
a tailor and have it done.
I can spend the $15 and get it done. You are not wrong, sir. But here's the thing that comes into play. I'm lazy.
Uh-huh.
I procrastinate.
Right.
And I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Having two lazies.
Who ain't?
Yeah, having two lazies fucks everything up. So
Lazy squared.
Yeah. Would that be squared? I don't know math. You know math.
Lazy times lazy equals get your shit together, Brandon.
But I thought squared meant
nope.
It's 2.
Something times it's Jesus Christ, Brandon.
I can't do math. Also, the old lady, when she found out, like, what kind of truck? Green one. She's like, fucking hold this place down. I'm gonna go, and she like fucking storms up.
Rusty.
Yeah, and she's like, and I was like, that old lady is fucking solid. Like to know first and foremost whose truck that was and who those fucking tweakers.
So that's another thing about the movie. Like when they first come that night, Nick Cage grabs the knife. I'm like, oh, we're gonna like John Wick this thing, and like that, and he just gets hit with like a pipe or whatever, and he goes down. Yeah, a bat. So I'm like, oh, like once again, it was already like subverting what I thought it was going to be. Like I thought it was going to be like, stab, John Wick style.
Yeah, like the little cuts, like, the pros, and then just finishes it with like because like the blade was kind of curved just a little bit, like go for the throat and just like rip that shit open. But
because I kept going in thinking that style. Or did you ever see Blue Ruin?
No.
With Macon, man, what the hell's his name? Macon something. Jeremy Saulnier, the guy who directed Green Room.
Is that the one with the tribes people?
The Green Room's the one with
No, I know Green Room.
Yeah.
But the one you're talking about, is that the one where or you know who I'm thinking of?
Anyway, sorry, well, okay. Blue Ruin's a revenge movie. So I'm like, I went in just thinking revenge, like it was just in my head. And it turned out I was wrong, but wrong in a good way.
You tend to be wrong a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look how I live.
The choices you made in
We're
life.
sitting on boxes and boxes of old newspapers and National Geographic magazines.
Yeah, mostly and Rolling Stone issues. Rolling Stone, yeah, when they used to be like the bigger, like more complete. Now they're like narrower. And did they do that because like losing subscribers, or they just kind of get with the time so their things aren't as big? You think?
You know what's funny? I remember reading the issue that it changed. Like, oh, we're gonna. I don't remember exactly what it says. I remember seeing the article. I don't remember what it was. What is in it? It was cool, modern, sleek. More streamlined, I guess, is probably the thing.
Which, yeah, because like because
the other one's just floppy and unruly.
Yeah, like if you put it on a regular bookshelf, it's gonna hang off a little bit more than likely. But then it seems like now they're at like the 8.5 by 11, kind of, maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger.
Might be one right there, but it's fine. We don't have to go through it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're in obviously a medium where people can see what we're doing, so it's great. They can visualize, and I have a few more notes here. So, tell me like about this movie. You already told me like some of the parts you like, and you believe that food can, bring back memories to somebody. But you're more of like a smell kind of person.
Smell of music, yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that this movie is worth the hype that you had heard on it? Like it being good, and it being like a good watch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it had hype.
Okay.
It had good reviews.
Sure.
And people liked it.
I think on IMDb it was like in the 70s, and then it said Rotten Tomatoes in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like 93 or 97 or something.
So does it deserve the scores that it was getting? Yeah, I liked it. And it's an interesting watch. And like one of the little headlines that I saw was something like, it's best to go in like not knowing anything about it, which is kind of what I did. I thought the wrong things, but I didn't watch the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. It was there, and we were like, "Oh, we're gonna do this movie next." So I'm like, "Oh, maybe I'll watch it." And I was like, "You know what? I should." I specifically didn't watch it to go in knowing less.
Thanks for telling me that.
Yeah.
Thanks. Well, actually, I did see the trailer before you had even brought it up a couple weeks ago.
But even the movie poster looks like a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like
Looks dark.
Yeah.
It looks like it was gonna be some fucking freaky shit because a pig. Like, and then the guy even said, "You fucking that pig?" Like, just being weird about it. And I was like, "Oh God, please don't say yes." And it made me think of, you saw Black Mirror, right?
Yeah.
Like the first fucking episode, I think, where the politician.
The politician,
yeah. Oof.
But even like it looked like the Witch cover. The
with Anne.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Anya Taylor-Joy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or man, what's the one with Joel Edgerton? I can't remember the name of that movie.
Oh, that's the.
It comes
at night.
Yeah.
That was fucked up.
Yeah, that movie's fucked up. But like that's what I thought this movie was.
Wait, if you can remember, It Comes at Night. What I interpreted was at the end of it, if you recall, that they did get sick. Am I incorrect? Because it seemed like they had killed that other guy in the family because they were like, "Oh, you're infected." But then it goes to the final little bit of it, and then the family that survived, they were infected. That's what I gathered. That's what it's. I mean,
man, I have to watch it again. I don't remember. I mean, I remember him killing, but I don't remember.
Oh yeah. Anyway, who's the girl in that? You say you can't even say. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, and there was a very good scene in this movie that I thought was. I'm glad the part didn't last. Like a cut at a perfect time was when Nick Cage, it was after he got beat up a little bit, and he's waking up the next day to the fire alarm. And I thought that was super silly that he's trying to fan the smoke away, and then it cuts to him like, "Hey, sorry, I don't cook." I don't cook.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's just a faker. Like he's not into cooking, and he's not into.
Well,
even though he just sells like
you don't have to be into that. Yeah. That's like me.
Well, it's funny. It reminds me of Joe. Man, what is his last name? Bastalone or whatever. He's one of the judges on Master Chef with Gordon Ramsay.
Okay.
But like he's not a chef. He's like a restaurateur. So. Not only that, like his business, like it was his mom's business. Like she's the one who made all, So
he just
inherited it. Yeah, and he's like pretty douchey on the show too. So it's like, I don't know, where did you earn this authority?
Yeah,
like, you just assume that you're all knowing. And there was even like memes of like Gordon, who's an actual chef, and that other guy.
He is.
Aron Sanchez, I think his name is the Mexican. Okay, whatever.
I don't know.
Is that his name? Yeah. Like there's like a thing with like the kids show where Joe makes like risotto, and they're just like the faces like they were making. So everyone was like, he's like, "Ooh, good job there, Joe. Like it's quite the risotto you're making," because he's not an actual chef. So I just thought that was funny. But
I'm sure if they were to like, "Hey,
but
Brandon,"
that's who it reminds me of, like trying to be super douchey and trying to be hip and fucking suits with no tie and shit like that. Like get the fuck out of my face.
I'm sure if they were to say, "Hey, Brandon," like these chefs were like, "Here's the recipe. Go make this as the best of your knowledge on how to do things." So like cutting things and stuff, I know how to cut. Like I have my fingers like down so the blade follows that. That's as far as my knowledge goes. I don't know how to cut an onion. I don't know how to cut a tomato properly. Well, actually, I know how to cut what is the one I used to cut? There's something I would cut where you'd cut the bottom and the top, so that way you can lay flat. Yeah. All right. Anyway, who am I telling you? You're not some kind of fucking cook either. So how did that? Okay. So I did like that joke. I don't like that coat on him. I wrote, Derek is a great actor. I like the name Lorelai. And then I put, he's got to smell like shit. I put that in there at least twice. Because even Alex, I don't know how far Alex was driving or Amir was driving to get to him in Portland or in Oregon. But again, assumably, let's just go on a limb here and say 45 minutes at least to go from in the wilderness to get into some kind of city. Like, to be alone with him in an enclosed...
Well, I've never been there. You've been there. Like, how long did it take you to get from the woods to the city?
I mean, there's time we went from Portland to... I don't remember that where we went, but I mean, it's a couple hours to get out. Like, fuck. Anyhow, so this movie, I greatly liked it. I enjoyed watching it. It didn't seem like that hour and a half pretty much went by pretty quick.
Yeah, it does.
Even though it's
well, it's kind of like you said, like there's not a lot of story there.
right,
Like,
and it's not a fast-paced movie, but yet
true. Also
but
true.
yet it went by quick.
Don't watch it at 11 o'clock at night, but
No.
yes,
Yeah,
laying on your couch.
laying on your couch after a hard day's work.
Yeah.
And
A day's work.
dick in your
hard-
hand.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. But I liked it. I would go on a limb here, and I would recommend it for people to watch. But you kind of got to go into that mindset, like you said. Don't expect don't go into this expecting Nick Cage freak out.
Well, it's traumatic. Like you're just seeing sad people.
Yeah.
Like they're all of them.
Yeah.
Like when when the dad,
the chef Derek, sad life.
I didn't realize until I read him. Like, oh yeah, that's the meal. Like he made the meal that him and his wife had that one. Like it's the same meal.
Yeah, like
And
the
same
the
wine.
chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, your
That's
son
why I
found
hate him.
this.
Yeah.
Because like he's Nick Cage tries to eat it, and then the other two are like, all right, like we can eat it, it's safe, I guess. And then you see the dad kind of take
Like,
that first bite, like
it's more than food. Yeah, at that point.
and then he takes another bite or whatever. Then he drinks the wine even, and then that's when it triggers him.
Which is kind of me because he says like I remember every meal that I've made and every
person
that
I've
is
made.
served.
Which if he has that kind of memory, that's fucking nuts. Because I don't remember anybody I talked to 2 days ago, besides coworkers. Even then, I don't remember who's it's and what's their face, so and so.
Hey, you.
Yeah, with the hair. Like, hey,
Big guy.
hey,
There he is.
Buckaroo. What's up, boss?
That's the guy I'm looking for.
This is the fucking guy. But if he can remember everybody, I mean, he remembered that, he said that Derek had worked for him for 2 months, and he was the prep cook,
yeah.
something like that, and he fired him because he kept overcooking the pasta or something, or the noodles. But
That's what I'm talking. That's like that quiet power that he has.
I would agree.
But it's not like arm swinging power. Like it's just.
Which I do like that kind of power too, though. Like of Nick Cage to have that, I am again. That's the power I was expecting, but obviously he didn't get. And yes. So with this movie, would you recommend it?
Yeah. Well, yes, it's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
But I feel like people like, if you're not into it, you're gonna like really not be into it. Like I sat through that boring shit for an hour and a half.
This movie it's not obscure in a sense. Like I would say, out of all the movies we've done so far, I would say like maybe Mother or even Akira were more obscure in a sense. Because Akira, I still cannot say what the fuck that movie's about fully. Now Mother, I get it. It's about like, well, actually maybe Mother's not obscure. I think I say that because it's the only foreign title that we've watched. But like, it's not obscure. I would take that back. Akira, I would say so, and not because it's an animated movie.
Yeah, but it's like world renowned in that genre.
So what? Still, I've asked even other friends like, hey, can you make this movie make sense to me? Can you explain it to me? And then they'll listen to the podcast and like, yeah, see, you're right. It's transcendent. Okay. What happened? And I'm like, yeah, like
I get it, but what?
yeah. Oh, what's that? I'm getting a phone call, and they like walk away, and then I have it holding their phone. Right. So I wouldn't say this movie necessarily is obscure.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Like, because the subject matter, yes, the pig gets stolen, and he wants to get the pig back. That's the whole premise right there. But like, it's kind of weird to think a pig, like a truffle pig, like it's not like a prized pig per se. It's prized to him, yes, but it's not some world-renowned thing that like everybody's gonna know about. It's just some dirty old homeless-looking dude trying to get his pig back. Yeah. And that cabin, mind you, had to be so fucking cold because those are just wood slabs. There's no insulation in that shit. Yeah. And like,
did it even have a fireplace?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And then why did they have that long shot for a little bit on that cast iron pan that was holding the door open? That kind of weirded me out.
I don't know. Oh, is that what they hit him with?
No, I thought he hit him with a bat.
Oh, okay, I don't remember.
But still, like Nick Cage looked at it, and then they held that shot for 5-6 seconds. I was like, that's too long. Like, anyway, so you would recommend this movie, but you don't think it's what's the freaking word I just said? This movie obscure. It's not an obscure movie, but yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, interesting.
Interesting is a good word to use for it. It's not.
I mean, that's like it's interesting, but it could be off-putting if people just think it's kind of boring and not what they anticipate going.
Sure, but you'll get good acting, you'll get good performances. Even the cinematography is really fucking good.
Yeah,
and set pieces.
Well, a lot of low light in this thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That whole fight scene, the dad's house at the end, like that looked like really
soft yellow. Yeah, it's, not fluorescent like other part.
That kitchen, super dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
it's like the whole fucking thing's candlelit.
Yeah, it's like there's only one light. It's in the middle, and then you're working everywhere on the edge of the room. So good luck seeing shit.
Which is funny because it's kind of the opposite of how you think of kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you ever work in, it's like it's just bright fluorescent lights, stainless steel, steel, everything, and just clean and bright.
Which I do like that look though, like clean and bright, so you see what you're doing. Mm-hmm. But I would think if I had my own design my own kitchen,
sterile. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay, but I would have the ability to have a lot of light, and then also have another switch where I can use just a few select lights. So that way it's more of a mood.
No, what I mean, like in a kitchen, you want it so you're not setting the mood in the kitchen. You're just working in the kitchen.
That's what I mean.
As opposed to like the restaurant itself, like that I can go for like the real low, like moody lighting. Like I'm into that.
Yeah.
If I'm at a restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel.
Set the ambiance.
Oh yeah.
Set the tone.
Yeah. Set it, Mike. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh, do I?
I don't know why you're saying that.
I don't know either. I don't know why my look. So the next movie then that we are going to watch is called.
Oh, that's it. We're done talking about this one.
Oh, what else do you have?
I'm just it's good. No, so the idea of something being like so traumatic that would like send you off into the wilderness to live on your own. Like I can't even fathom that.
To have something that you cherish so much.
Well, I mean, he obviously loves cooking. Or I mean,
it did.
Not even love. Like it just seems like it's him. It's what he does. Like it's like special powers almost, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like the remembering every meal, stuff like that. But like something being like so traumatic, like his wife dying, where he can just
up and leave.
Like it's just he had to go. Like I mean, I'm assuming it's because she was so integral to like his restaurant. I'm assuming like they did it together. So like just being in the city or around it is so painful that's why he has to go, right?
And yes, and I would say just to get on this real quick, is it integral or how did you say it?
Integral.
Is it that way?
I
always say integral. I'm just asking you.
Trying to make a fucking point about
I would obviously
sadness.
For him obviously he has that
and loneliness
that in him too.
And you're worried about the fucking world.
Yeah, I've never been in a situation like that as of yet, where I'm just so.
Well, I'm thinking. Actually, maybe a lot of people have been, but they don't have. They can't move out into the woods. So they just
the wooden
become go inside and become lonely. With fucking alcohol or drugs or whatever. Like that's how.
I would say that's a normal, not normal, but like how a lot of people would do it is something that would give them that high, give them that feeling of
not even high, just
I don't mean high, but I just mean like to forget and to
forget those feelings.
Yeah, you said dull it or just cram it away somewhere. So alcohol, drugs, take your feelings,
put them in a little box and bury it deep down. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
And then it becomes a tumor in your brain. I can see it. Like I'm sure. Like imagine losing a fucking kid or a significant other, like a parent. Like you're so attached, and that's why like with a pig, like with an animal, I can see it. Like Lady Gaga, like her dogs got stolen, and she was like putting out rewards and all that shit. Although to be fair, to bring up that real quick, like the guy that got shot, from what I've read, like she's like, I don't care about you anymore. But I don't know. I mean, whatever.
Oh, her dog walker guy?
Her dog walker friend? Yeah. Like, apparently, he had, like, a GoFundMe. Because she
yeah, it's a bummer guy. Is Schnookums okay?
Yeah.
That's who we really need to worry about.
Hey, I get it. You need a transplant.
Biscuit Head Schnookums?
Yeah. Not Boots and Smokey. No. But, I'm sure there's many people out there that would have this kind of reaction to something like this. Again, a pig, it's a pig. But I get it. When you have that attachment to something, like, doesn't matter what it is.
Well, I mean, like, he's gone through all that loss, right? He finally has something that, I guess, brings him some joy.
Yeah.
He even says it himself. He doesn't really need it to find the truffles. Like, he can do it on his own, but just... And then to have that taken from him again, like, that's kind of how he met his breaking point, I'm assuming.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking that they take the pig and he's going to go Nick Cage Fury.
Exactly.
And do it. But in reality, he was just like, I want my pig. Yeah. And that was like his longest dialogue in the whole movie when he was talking to Derek about like,
tsunamis.
Yeah. Wait, did he talk about a tsunami? I don't remember that. Oh, I thought he was just...
Yeah, people those are the lucky ones that are going to survive when the bridges collapses and they're going to look up there and see a 100-foot wave coming at them. You remember that?
Was that when he was talking to Derek though? And Derek's like, and he was I don't
Breakfast
remember.
table.
I don't remember that exact word, but yeah, okay. When he took the bite of the food and was like, I want to talk to the chef, because he didn't really open his mouth a lot, but it's probably because he broke his mouth when he got punched in the face so many times.
That's true.
So yeah,
But I'm saying like that's the level of despair and sadness that he had. Like, yeah, we're all just gonna end up in the ocean. Like that's
it's a good outlook on life. I could tell you that. I mean, we had that warning a couple weeks ago because there was the
volcano. Yeah.
yeah, and then they're warning Huntington Beach,
Which I
Newport
work in the beach by the beach a lot now. So
When they had said that, I was like, no, that's not happening. Like, there's no fucking way. And it
how
didn't.
do you know?
I'm pretty sure I know some stuff and some things, and I'm well aware of elevation and how other things work, but that's just me.
Tides come in, tides go out.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah.
You fucking fuck.
You're a fucking fuck. So anyway, I would say though, yes, I can see people having that kind of attachment to stuff, and I get it. Like when you lose it, if you lose it, I'm sorry, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
So
I'm sorry, just came to me in regards to food triggering memories.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember, and we might have mentioned this already, but the In-N-Outs opening in like Dallas, Texas, or
those
whatever,
long lines
was
and all
like
that shit.
fucking
Hours long lines.
Remember they did an interview with a girl in a car. Do you remember the specific one? Okay, so she was 2 hours back in the line. She's like, oh, I can't wait, blah blah blah. I grew up eating this stuff when I was in Southern California, right? So I guess 2 hours later, they found her when she finally comes out, and she's fucking just bawling her eyes out, like just like, oh my god, I grew up eating this, and it's been years since I've had it, so it just further emphasized the importance of food.
Obviously, she had good memories of it. I don't have that kind of situation.
And I was like, really, those fries? But yeah, it's
yeah, I know those fries. If you don't eat those fries fresh, you're fucked.
Well, if you don't eat those fries animal style, then you're an animal yourself.
Okay. So you're the animal if you don't, but I would be the animal if I did eat it. I'm not the animal.
Right.
The person that isn't is the animal.
Right. Because you're like a dog eating scraps.
Yeah, you're feral.
Throw it on they'll eat anything. They would eat a raw potato, obviously.
Yeah, asshole.
Asshole.
And raw meat. So, yeah, I think that... I think so.
So pigs, what's that about?
Yeah, so we got potbellies, we got Elmers, and what other pigs we know. I like the movie. I would recommend it to those that I think might understand a movie like this, which it's not hard to understand. It's just that it's a slow-paced, fast movie. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like only barely hour and a half, but yet you still stay.
It's powerful. I was pleasantly surprised.
Stay attached to it. Like you don't. I didn't check once how much time was left or anything like that. Again, I mean, only hour and a half. What do you fucking? But because normally I would think something like this would be at least 2 hours, but barely like 1:30.
Like I said, I even like the idea. Because there's like a level of douchey that you have to like wade through when it comes to restaurants and chefs, just in general.
Yeah.
Like the highfalutenness of it.
Yeah.
But I like the way they did it in this movie, where he's like, "Oh, let's get my pig back. I have another idea of how to do it," and it's literally just to cook the meal and just fucking bring Amir's dad to his goddamn knees. Like it's interesting. Very, very fun.
Yeah. I wonder how old those wines were. That doesn't matter. So,
I don't know if it has like they just have to be old. It has to be like I think it's like a specific year and vintage of that particular wine. That
I don't know anything about wine.
Okay, I don't know that much either, but I just know it's not like it's super duper old. Like,
yeah, it's an 1812. So and they
pop now vinegar.
Yeah, there's a bunch of souls fly out. So the next movie that we are going to review, though, Mike, you had chose this movie. It's called The Hunt.
Yeah.
Which who's in it?
Oh, is that what Mads? The one
Mads, yeah, because we can't do the other one. The other one's already off of Hulu. So it's called The Hunt. It's available on
Hulu.
It's
Hulu.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. It has Mads Mikkelsen. Milkinson. He's also going to be in the new Harry Potter universe movie, which is The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them Part 3, because he took over Johnny Depp's part. And so he's playing the new bad guy.
Oh, really? Yeah. Johnny Depp's a bad guy in that?
Yeah. He was...
I've only seen one Harry Potter movie.
Which one was it? Azkaban?
Number 1.
Sorcerer's Stone. Or if you're in England, it was called
Philosopher's
Stone. Yeah. So I think Harry Potter's my favorite is probably Prisoner of Azkaban. Like
that's the one Alfonso Cuarón directed, right?
See, I didn't mean to respond with Spanish because he said fucking. Anyway, so the next movie is called The Hunt. It's available on Hulu.
Might be a bummer. But
it probably is.
Should be good.
And do you want to talk a little bit about it, like what it is, or no? Nah, fuck it. They can read a synopsis.
I think he's a teacher.
Yeah.
Like a young kindergarten teacher, something like that.
Ooh.
Gets accused of inappropriate behavior with some kids, or a kid by mistake, I think. But maybe he actually, I haven't seen the movie. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know how you can, okay, I don't want to get into that. I was gonna say, how do you mistakenly, but you know,
Well, kids are dumb.
Yeah, they're way fucking dumb. Anyhow, okay. Well, The Hunt, next episode's on Hulu. Mike, why don't you take us away?
Okay, think of a pig thing. So I'm thinking Peter Frampton and The Simpsons with a pig. Spit crapula, do 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 do. Spit crapula, do 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 do.